Tiger fans. Thanks for joining us for a new edition of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we get together with the head coach of Tiger and Lady Tiger basketball. Ginger High Colvin joins us first. Brent Vernon in a moment. Coach, we took last week off, so it's been a while. We'll go all the way back to the Bruton Parker LSU Shreveport trip here at home, and you guys are enjoying this long layoff. I say enjoying. The Lady Tigers might not be yet.
I think if you ask them, they're probably not enjoying.
They're ready for a new opponent.
I know. It's such a long time not to play a game, and it's been a blessing and a curse. Maddie now, had a really bad preseason ankle sprain, so we're waiting on her to get back. She's been able to practice with us some, and Lauren had tweaked up her calf a little bit. So it's nice to have everybody back to practice, but it's also hard when you've got so long, and the kids just want to compete and not be around me so much.
Well, let's talk about you get the win over LSU Shreveport. Let's look at the box from Bruton Parker there, the final game there in the Powell Center before this layoff began for Campbellsville. They get the win in both games of the series here at Campbellsville, the joint classic with the Tigers. And, the top 25 matchup, you and I had talked, that LSU Shreveport team is going to be a real handful for some clubs throughout the year, but you're able to get them early and get a win. I
feel like they are. We watched, the only game that we were able to watch was their game at Loyola. Loyola's typically a top 25 team, and it was just a track meet up and down the floor, very athletic, and that's all we knew coming in. It had a lot of transfers, but I thought we handled it well. We came out and we shot the ball well, and when you shoot the ball well, it makes everything else look easy. And so we were fortunate to come out and hit as many shots as we did. But I thought we played hard. I thought defensively we did a really good job against a very athletic team who outsized us in about every spot.
And then you turn around, you get the big win over Bruton Parker. Lauren Lee leading the way for Campbellsville in the victory over the Barons. And a Bruton Parker team you got to watch play Bethel, but one that you're not necessarily familiar with in terms of playing out of Southern States and all that. But again, a win is a win, and a nice one at home.
And Chris was a little bit more in tune to Bruton Parker because he's accustomed to that Southern State style play, and Bruton probably was more athletic player for player, more skilled player for player than LSU Shreveport, more physical for sure. And then we came out and I thought did a really good job. But when Lauren's playing as well as she's playing right now, everything tends to go to our favor.
And here in a minute, we will look ahead at the Lady Tiger schedule following the holiday break. But before we do that, Coach, you and Miranda Denny, you have kept a busy schedule on the road. You may not be traveling to games, but you are certainly logging the miles as the signings for the Lady Tigers come in. And we'll start, I think the first commitment for the class was Lainey Johnson from Lawrenceburg and Anderson County High School. And what a terrific get she is for you guys.
Such a tremendous commitment. We actually signed Lainey last week, and Lainey's a two-time region player of the year in their region. And one of her, I know Coach Bird Whistle talked to her, and she said one of her goals was go and play where I can contribute, where I can enjoy my team, get an education, and everything fit obviously what we do. And we've watched Lainey for years. Anderson County comes to our team comes to our team camp every summer, and she can flat shoot the basketball. She's very her work ethics is phenomenal, and we're so excited about having her. And bar injury, bar anything going wrong, I feel like she's one of the top contenders for Regional Player of the Year again.
And then the most recent signing, Abby Gilbert, this week out of Jackson County High School, 6'3" coach, obviously at the NAI level. Anything over, you get past that 6'1", it starts to get a little harder to find. 6'3", athletic.
Yes, and crazy enough, her coach is a former foe of ours, Courtney Tyra, that played at Georgetown, is Abby's coach, and Miranda went up and signed Abby yesterday because it was during our practice time. And she said, crazy enough, Courtney said she thinks Abby will probably have to start and play some point for her. So Whitney Ballinger-ish, because she's 6'3" and she can do a lot. I think they only have 11 kids on their team, so she's going to be called on to do quite a bit. A tremendous kid, and she is 6'3". She's got great size. She handles the ball well. So we're super excited about her, and Coach Tyra said she just feels like her best years are ahead of her. We're excited about it.
You dip down into the state of Tennessee for one as well. Sailor Hutchison, that Jacksboro area, La Follette area, right across the line. And I know your guys are tickled with her as well.
Yeah, I think if you look up competitor in the dictionary, it's going to have Sailor's name by it. She actually opens up tonight. I'm going to try to see if that's streamed. And she's just a bulldog. She's going to go in and outwork you in everything that she does. I love the kid. I love I love who she is on the floor and off the floor, and she's going to come in and work. She's going to Bailey Pettigo it. She's going to come in, and by her senior season, she's going to be probably one of the top players we've had.
Speaking of Bailey Pettigo, you went to Berrien County, and you waited till Caitlin Wilkes and Kayla Luby left before adding a couple of Katie's, but Katie Gerald's the first from Berrien County High School.
Yes, Katie Gerald's, and when we talk about Katie Gerald's, I think she fits in that Lauren Lee category. Super intelligent kid, probably not as active on social media as most, and no, you can't find anybody to say one bad word about her. I know when I went to sign Savannah Gregory, I think that's the most I've ever heard anybody compliment a kid, and Katie Gerald's was right in there. She's a worker. Hootie actually was able to see her play for Cornelius Faulkner, Madison's dad, and his Southern Kentucky Stars AAU, and I just think the sky's the limit for her. We're super excited about her.
And then you also have Katie Smiley from Bowling Green. And,
Diamond in the rough, yeah. 6 foot, legitimate 6 foot, Bowling Green High School. Again, off the court, she's just exactly what you dream of. Just a tremendous kid, and she's a great shooter, but she's skilled on the inside. She's just going to be another great addition for us, and I can't say enough about this class and what we have, and just super excited to get them here.
We'll have to get Katie Smiley on the air during the conference tournament if Bowling
Green's not playing. I think she's attended a lot of those games, so yeah, we'll get her. We'll get her on there. We have one more to sign, and we'll talk about her after we get her signed. But
when the ink dries.
What?
When the ink dries.
When the ink dries, yes. We have a board in my office, and yesterday Hootie said I'm not going to write that we've got that one signed yet. I said, yeah, let's get it on paper first. We're a little superstitious when it comes to that stuff.
The Lady Tigers still have a week or so before they return to play. We'll step away, take a break here. We'll come back and look ahead at their upcoming schedule. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
You're not going to get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome. Prediabetes does. 1 in 3 adults has prediabetes, but with early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. And you can change the outcome. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test today. Go to doihaveprediabetes.org.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton and the head coach of Lady Tiger basketball, Ginger High Colvin, here as we look ahead at their upcoming schedule. And Coach, you still got a week or so. You got the Thanksgiving holiday. This is probably maybe an unusual stretch. I know it's unusual, but right around the Thanksgiving holiday, how do you handle that, giving the kids a little time off on the front end, because you're going to leave pretty quick thereafter and head to Kingsport.
And fortunate enough, we have Hootie, who's a great planner, and we sit down and we try to let the kids know way ahead of time that we will be leaving out on Thanksgiving night, so they can hopefully maybe get their Thanksgiving that Sunday before or even the day before. We'll practice early that morning before and give them time to go home, be with their families. And I know it's tough sometimes for families to change everything around, but it's a great opportunity for us to go down and pick up 2 games, and we'll be back and shoot around, do a few things that Thursday night, and then head out.
And let's take a look at the upcoming schedule for Coach and the Lady Tigers. They head to Kingsport to take part in the show, the second year down there for for them, but it'll be Reinhardt University and then Faulkner University the 29th and 30th. Coach, and we'll double check on the times there, but we'll send Colin Sheffield and Khalil Baker down for the call. The guys will be there that weekend as well. Then you'll get back home, Carolina University, and then you go to Lindsey Wilson College, Oakland City, and Shawnee State, if I'm correct there. Those games are in Columbia, Kentucky on the 13th and 14th. So your schedule kind of opposite of the Tigers. Yours is really going to pick up there in December, and theirs has been kind of heavy here in the early part of November.
Yeah, it's not by great planning on my part. We lost 2 games. We've really tried to pick up 2 more, and we just can't get anything valid to come in and play. And I can't believe you're not going down, because where we stay, it connects to the gymnasium, and as you walk by, there's a Starbucks that you cannot miss.
I don't miss many.
No.
I'll have to take that up
as soon as I walk by, I thought, I bet Matt Payton will be here next year when he finds his house.
Well, that's that's kind of that Sunday is a sacred day for me. My family has always done it. My grandmother and grandfather started it. Sunday after Thanksgiving is always our big family get-together. So it's one of the few dates on the calendar I've never missed. So, I hate to start now. But, we'll certainly try to keep up with the Lady Tigers. Colin and Khalil will go down and help us out. But it's a Reinhardt team that had a good year last year. It's a Faulkner team that you're familiar with. You've played in the national tournament. You've seen Coach Sutton, Maddie Boyle, tied a program record with threes down there.
She did.
So, 2 teams that you're somewhat familiar with.
Faulkner is actually without Coach Sutton now. Coach Sutton has moved on. But again, I've watched them. They still play the same. Their assistant took over, same style, a lot of threes, and it's going to be 2 teams, really opposite of what we just played in Shreveport and Bruton. These 2 teams are going to be a lot more fundamental, a lot more organized in what they do, more deliberate. Not that these last 2 teams weren't organized, but they got by with a lot of athleticism. These 2 teams coming up are solid and going to be really good for us, because it's going to force us to really be disciplined and do some stuff that we didn't do the prior games. And
the way I understand it, you don't have to play at midnight this year down there, or at least
I don't think we'll start without Bree Gowdy's birthday and then into Bree Gowdy's birthday. Last year we were at midnight. At halftime we celebrated her birthday. It was a game I think we were winning big, and so we sang happy birthday.
Is that a first?
It's a first at a halftime at midnight. So yes, it was a first.
That was, I think, the Union game down there last year, and the show is really these events, and I still am partial to playing the one in Jackson.
Oh yeah, I love
COVID
that
kind of it never really came back after the COVID break over the holiday. You had that though down in Jackson. The show has kind of replaced that, and I know that's good for you from a scheduling standpoint.
It is, and I tried to get another game down there as well. I only ended up with 2, but it is great. You can drive down, and what I love this year is that our guys are going as well. I wish they had incorporated, and I know we have team camp, so it's so hard to do that, things like that, but it would have been nice if we could have played closer to one another. I know the guys play on Sunday, and we don't. We'll be back home then, but just having them there and being able to watch them play will be nice too.
Well, Coach, best of luck next weekend. Enjoy the holiday break, and we'll revisit things in December as the Lady Tigers travel to the show over the Thanksgiving holiday. We'll step away here, come back, and visit with the head coach of the Tigers, Brent Vernon. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Food isn't just fuel to live, it's fuel to grow. My family relied on public assistance to help provide meals for us. These meals fueled my involvement in theater and the arts as a child, which fostered my love for acting. The Feeding America network of food banks helps millions of people put food on the table. When people are fed, futures are nourished. Join the movement to end hunger, and together we can open endless possibilities for people to thrive. Visit feedingamerica.org/act now.
Welcome back to Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we transition over to Tiger basketball. The Tigers in action this past weekend down in Williamsburg at the Classic at Cumberland's victory over Lynchburg, falling to IU Southeast. The head coach, Brent Vernon, joins me. Coach, it's been a week or two with the break last week. It's been a bit since we've talked, but it's not slowed you guys down. Action at home, action at Cumberland's, more classics coming up the next few weeks. You guys are pretty much in mid-season form, it feels like, in terms of the schedule.
We are, and it's going to be interesting. I'm going to talk to our guys today. We're literally, if you look at the games played, we're a fourth of the way through the season. 28 regular season games, we played 7. It goes really quick, and that's one of the messages of you got to be able to rise to the occasion, make sure that you don't let any type of special opportunity squander away. And like I said, early season we're going through a few things, but that's part of it, year in and year out. And I like the mindset of our guys. I still really like our team, and we're just going to continue to work to try to get better.
Campbellsville Classic, you knocked off Bruton Parker, fell to Montreat. University of Virginia Lynchburg on Friday at Cumberland's, fall to IU Southeast. So that back-to-back right now, you guys are trying to figure that out, not only playing, and I know when you get into conference, it's Thursday, Saturday, it's a little different, but there's a lot that goes into this preparation and stuff.
There is, and you throw in a game in the middle there against Western Kentucky, 5 games in 8 days. That's pretty bad scheduling on my part, but it's one of those things that you're not going to turn down an opportunity to play an exhibition against Western Kentucky in our case. So it's one of those things that, you look at it, did I do wrong? I don't know, but our guys are still battling. We didn't play our best against Montreat and IU Southeast, and that's, I hope, early season struggles that you're still just trying to figure a few things out. I felt like watching the film, we had tired bodies, we had tired minds. We just didn't do a ton right. I guess you could say maybe on the back-to-backs we're struggling a little bit, but again, that's how our schedule is, and our guys, as well as coaches, have to be able to figure it out to put our team in the best position, because we've got another one this Friday, Saturday, and then another one next Saturday, Sunday. So we do have to figure that out, and we got to get on a pretty big roll right now.
You get another 30-plus point win over Lynchburg, who you had seen in Columbia, Kentucky earlier this year, and this has got to be one of the more unique situations or teams. I don't know what you want to call it, Coach, but we talked a little bit throughout the week. You didn't necessarily know who they were going to bring. They've had some guys maybe ineligible. They pulled up some football players. Interim head coach. This has been a challenge to prepare for, and they rolled into the gym Friday evening or Thursday evening, I guess, and they got like 10 or 12 guys. Yeah. We're scrambling, trying to figure out who they are. You talk about going into a game blind. I don't think you can go any more blind than that.
No, you can't. You look on the roster, they got 14 guys. They've been playing basically 7 or 8 through their first 6, 7 games, and you don't know really game to game who's going to show up, and new guys do show up Thursday, and then they're not even really guys on the roster, so you don't really know what they can do or not. And again, we had played them earlier at Lindsay's Classic and been successful against them, so I think it was really hard for our guys to fully focus and be energized to really play that game. I thought early on we were really sloppy. I do think the last 30 minutes we played really well, and we got back to what we do best, but it was good to get a win. Obviously didn't put the back-to-back together, and hopefully we can do that this weekend.
You turn around, you get the early afternoon game against IU Southeast on Friday, and that's an interesting environment. You walk in and there's 200 elementary kids in there watching the Cumberlands and Lynchburg, and then you guys have to turn around and the gym basically kind of vacates. Right. And I always feel like those are some of the toughest environments to play in, because it's this large open area. It's very quiet. You've got to manufacture your own energy, and that was a nip and tuck battle with IU Southeast.
It was, and at halftime I really didn't have a great feeling. We ended the half pretty poorly, and it sort of transitioned over to the second half, and we were right there neck and neck the whole time. Had some chances late to take the lead, tie the game, and just came up short. But sometimes being in those close games and coming up short is a good teaching tool, and now we can hopefully be prepared for the next one we have close, that we can make the right play and finish the game. But as you said, a 1 o'clock Friday afternoon is a weird time. And if you look at our schedule, we've got some weird times throughout the year. Next Tuesday, I think it was good for our guys to see that elementary game, because next Tuesday at Mount Vernon Nazarene, we play at 11 a.m. and it's an elementary game. So we're going to have a lot of that same type of environment when we go there. And then later on that next weekend in the show, both of our games are 11, 12:45. So earlier games, earlier contests, just something else to try to figure out along this road we're on.
A quick look at the numbers in the matchup with IU Southeast. It was an 88-84 ball game. The Tigers fall there. 17 for Jay Milburn, 6 boards. Kobe Penny had 16 in the loss, and Javon Smith with 11 points, 2 boards, and an assist there for Campbellsville. And Coach, that IU Southeast team, and one you'll see here in a few weeks, maybe a month or so, at the Powell Center. I'm sure your guys at that time will be chomping at the bit.
I think they will be, and you look at the score of the 2 games we lost, they've been identical, 88-84. We're scoring enough points. We got to be better defensively, and it's both been in the second half where we faltered, and that just, a lot of it shows tired bodies, tired minds, and whenever you get really, really fatigued, the first thing you go is your mind. But hopefully by that time we'll have another player with us, Cam Vick and everything, but we're getting closer to that date with him, and our guys are excited about that. But our guys, even without him, we're good enough to be a little better than what we are right now, and that's what we're working towards.
Tigers get a little rest, and they host the Lou Cunningham Classic this weekend. Campbellsville will welcome in Spartansburg Methodist as well as Brescia to the Powell Center. We'll step away, come back, and talk with the head coach about those games. Stay with us here on Tiger Timeout.
Hi, I'm Smokey Bear, and I made an assistant to help you out, because only you can prevent wildfires.
Hey, Assistant Smokey Bear. Call me Papa Bear, because I'm grilling up dinner. Do you get it?
Yes, good job.
So, what should I do with all these coals?
Don't just toss them out. Put them in a metal container because those embers can start a wildfire.
I understand. The stakes are high.
Ha, 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 ha.
See, Smokey thinks I'm funny.
I debate all day. It's what I do. But there are some things that are undebatable, like your mental health. I was in a dark place when my brother passed away in a car accident. I was depressed in ways I never imagined. I reached out, and my sisters came, my pastor, my therapist. They helped me get through it. I found that the more I spoke up, the healthier my mind became. When you love your mind, you can go so much further. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org.
Closeout segment of this week's edition of Tiger Timeout here on the Campbellsville University Sports Network. Matt Payton with you as we take a look at the week ahead for the Tigers. Campbellsville University will host Spartanburg Methodist as well as Brescia here at the Powell Center. And the head coach joins me, and Coach Brent Vernon will be wearing the plaid jacket this weekend in honor of Lou Cunningham for the Lou Cunningham Classic, or not on order this
Don't have the plaid with me.
We'll have to work that out one year, but you do host the Lou, and I know that's a way to honor the longtime head coach here at Campbellsville University, and always fun to get some quality opponents coming in. Spartanburg Methodist, one that's joined the NAI ranks, and a new one for you guys.
Yeah, they are, and a lot of times when people hear joining the NAI ranks, they figure new program, new school, but it's not. It's just been a junior college. They've had a very successful program down there, and new coach and Blake Jackson, who's done a great job early. They've played a tremendously tough schedule. They score a lot of points. They play fast. Our defense will have to be better than what we've been, and that's something that we've really been working on this week. And then just continue to score like we have, because really in every game we're scoring enough points to win. We just got to tighten up on the defensive end. And like I said, they've got 3 players averaging 17 or more points, so we have to be able to slow those guys down. And if we can do that, we'll get started on the right foot on Friday.
And, talking about as a coach and football and different things, the schematics and all that go into it, it's the same with basketball. As a coach working on the defensive side, that's kind of been a focus for you guys. Seeing a team that gets up and down and tries to score a bunch, is that the perfect test for you right now, or would you rather see a low score? I mean, how does that – it's maybe a double-edged sword.
It is. I think for us, it's really just about making sure that we're better. And I don't think it matters if it's a half-court team that's efficient or a fast-paced team. Whenever we get into our half-court defense, we've got to be better than what we've been. And again, we've really pinpointed a few things over the last week and a half that we have to improve on. And because of how our schedule was, 5 games in 8 days, until we got to Monday of this week, we weren't able to practice those things because you're really, some days you don't get a day off. The ones you do, you have to rest and recover and get treatment. So this has been a really good week of practice. Our guys have had a great sense of urgency, which is really what I was looking for after coming up short on Friday, excuse me. So we're really excited to get going on Friday night.
Let's take a look at the numbers as Spartanburg Methodist visits the Powell Athletic Center. The matchup between the two clubs, Campbellsville University will interplay with the 5-2 record. Spartanburg 2-5, and don't let that fool you. It's been a kind of a tough schedule for them out of the gate, Coach. A high-scoring affair. If you look at the numbers, what we've seen already this season, and that 47.9% field goal percentage obviously jumps out for the Pioneers. But they've played Life University, some other quality opponents. They're battle-tested. Certainly one that you gotta be on your toes.
We do, and whenever you've got 3 guys that are, they have one averaging 24, another averaging 19, another averaging 17. We've faced teams this year with high volume scores, but really just one. And our biggest thing when we play those guys are make them inefficient. We've done really good doing that, other than against IU Southeast, of making them inefficient. So now we've got 2 and 3 guys that we have to worry about. So it's going to be a very tough challenge. Scoring 86 points a game, our goal is going to be able to hold them to 75 or less because, again, for us, I think anytime we get in the 70s, we should personally win. That's just my theory, and that's the standard I want our guys to be held to defensively, and we're not there yet. And that's where every possession matters, and we've got to lock in and be a little better than what we have been.
We'll take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Tigers. Of course, 7 o'clock on Friday evening in the Powell Center for the Lou Cunningham Classic. And then you also have Brescia there on Saturday, 3 o'clock the start. Mount Vernon Nazarene, we mentioned, Coach, 11 a.m. And then you get Indiana University Kokomo. You'll have Oakland City in the show. So it'll be a few weeks before we visit again. But you do those awkward times, but a lot of talented clubs coming your way. And here over the next few weeks, you talk about Cam Vick, getting him back. You're kind of the stretch run. Before that, I know you'd love to come out of here with many wins.
Yeah, and that's our goal is, the guys have made a concerted effort. They say no more losses, before the break and everything. And, December 1 is our last game before classes end. So we'll get through this next basically week and a half. And then whenever we come back, it'll be finals week. We'll really buckle down and do that. But after the December 1, we don't play again until December 13th. So there's going to be a lot of time for us to get back in the gym and work on things we need to work on. After December 1, when we come back on December 13th, Cam Vick will be available. So we'll be able to start incorporating some things in practice, making sure that he's up to pace. The good part is he's been able to practice all semester with us. So we are excited about that, but you can't look towards that. What we have to do is, again, we're trying to win every day and every practice and game that we play. So we've got a little bit of time before that, but, for our guys, it is time to get a win under our belt on Friday and then try to get a lot of momentum going and win 4 and 5 in a row before that.
The Tigers will do that this weekend, the Lou Cunningham Classic. Coach, best of luck this weekend.
Thanks, Matt.
The Tigers battle Spartanburg Methodist on Friday evening. It's a Saturday afternoon tip-off against Brescia in the Powell Center. For the head coach, Brent Vernon, as well as the head coach of the Lady Tigers, Ginger High Colvin, I'm Matt Payton, wishing you a very happy Thanksgiving. We'll see you after the break here on Tiger Timeout.